What do Venus Optics, Mitakons Jungi, Oryx and TTArtisan all have in common? Well, they've all put out lenses for the GF mount from a measly £163 up to a not bad £999. Now, today's lens costs around £329 and for manual shooters might prove to be somewhat of a bargain. This is the TTArtisan 90mm f 1.25 for Fujifilm GFX. I mean, it's in the title. You already knew that. Let's just crack on. Typical quality box, albeit obviously larger. Might have underestimated that cut. Should have just peeled it back. Anyway, what an unboxing. This beast does not want to come out. Well packaged, look at that. Nice. So, silica gel, do not eat. You were warned. Warranty card. Cool. Let us know if you've had to use the warranty with TTArtisan. We need to hear about that level, that side of customer service, we should say. Lens spec, installation, etc. in there. Optical design. Lens spec. We're going to run through that in just a moment. Also, user manuals, plural. Not sure why that's in plural, but yeah. This thing, oh man, it does. Oh, that's a beast of a lens, isn't it? Look at that. That is one serious chunk. Lovely. So first of all, let me show you this. So we've got a flat screw cap, keeps things compact and protected. And then if you just pull that off, turn it round, screw it on, and you've got a hood. Reversible hood, that's good. Keeps things nice, protected, and then usable to get your contrast and protection levels right. I do like that. So that will screw back on there. And it will pop back on top. It's quite an airtight fit. That's cool. On the flip, the G-mount is a very tidy affair. Do like that. That is nice. Looks really well built, well machined. We'll see how it fits shortly. So we've got a full frame equivalent for what it's worth. You know, some of us know that language more. 71.1 mil. Angle of view 27 degrees. 10 diaphragm blades. 11 elements in 7 groups. Decent amount of glass then. So once we get around here, we can see 1.25, and it's quite a, I don't want to say stiff aperturing. There are clicks. The clicks are quite quiet, quite soft, but nevertheless they're there. But it is quite a, there's quite a bit of resistance there. Whether that will loosen up over time, we'll see. But I'm very happy that it's clicked. Now, if we go to the manual focusing, let me just grab on here. That's also quite a sturdy affair. So, closest focusing distance of 1 meter. And if we give it a good turn, we get spot on infinity, at least on 1 meter. Let me just check that throw. It's quite a decent throw for what it's worth. Might be some fun to be had for video shooters as well, maybe. You never know. That filter size, by the way, on the top, let's just go back to there again, is 77 mil. Very handy. Now, I believe, no, I can't see. I thought there was supposed to be some sort of mounting point on here, something a little bit different, but evidently not on the GFX mounts. But I think it's nice. It's a very well proportioned thing. I'm going to measure it myself now for the weight. because I don't trust specs when it comes to weight on lenses, because often they're general. So let's pop it on there. Don't worry about the focusing going wild. 1074. A bit of excitement from the focusing. Anyway, that is very cool. Build quality feels great. Handling, we'll see as we get on with this thing, but does feel like a premium bit of gear. Let's see how it fares in the real world. Well, real sample world, that is. Firstly, that manual focus ring after some use is still kind of hard work. Some of you might prefer a stiffer manual focus ring, but my copy is definitely on the heavy side. Add to that the weight of the body that I'm using, and you're not going to be throwing this combo around all day as I did, I guess. But then to get the level of image quality, there's compromises, and the overall result is brilliant. Now, that aperture ring is actually pretty decent, very nice experience, clicking along very nicely. You can make some minor calibration adjustments via the screw on the side, but I find that I don't have to touch that, and hopefully I won't, but at least the option is there. The lens then, very solid, fits well, and should last a long time, but yes, it's not an easy lens to use. At first, actually, I kind of regretted taking it out to shoot handheld, but when I got in and started seeing the results, yeah, I was very impressed. With the 50S Mark II that we've got here, you're looking at around 2 kilos in total, so it's a serious lens. Now, for GFX shooters, a slower tripod-based methodology is often par for the course, and that's where I think the lens really shines. But yeah, handheld, with the IBIS of this camera, it worked out pretty well in the end, despite me having an injured arm at the moment. I still had a bit of good fun out there. You've heard lens reviewers use the word character to describe the vibe that they get from certain lenses, and I've used that word too myself. This definitely falls into that character camp, as opposed to being an optically spot-on lens. For such a bright lens though, you probably expected that. Now, putting aside the tricky nature of working wide open, it is sharp in the center, even if it's barely an eyelash worth. You get that pop, and you get a nice separation with the out of focus areas, which can almost be the whole image. You know, it's a pretty amazing experience. The bokeh is definitely a big factor in buying this lens, and hopefully you can discern that from some of the sample images, but I think we're going to need to do a bit more to show that off. Now, vignetting, as you can imagine, wide open, it's clearly there, but you know, that clears up once you get down into the more sensible apertures. Chromatic aberration is real too, but it's easily corrected, and you know, you could just work with it for that extra bit of flavor. Next time you watch a relatively old movie, I'm pretty sure you'll see chromatic aberration in those blockbuster movies. When it comes to IQ, you take the flaws into account, and with this one, I think you could get some very cool images. Now, we won't go on about distortion and curvature. For the nature and purpose of the lens, I don't think that's really a big deal. Maybe you'll discern something from this quick stop down test now, where the ISO and the lighting remains the same, but we work through the Aperture range. You know how it goes. At the point of recording this is going for $516 on Amazon at the moment, or $399 delivered from Pergear. So, you know, pretty cheap, pretty relatively small outlay. So is it worth it? Well, it's generally well built. It has that awkward manual focusing. It's tricky to get right wide open, but it's otherwise a decent bargain when you see the results. It's probably really going to shine in low light scenes way more than the general use that I gave it in the test shots that I've shown. But to be fair, I think you could just get by using it as a cheaper, for want of a better word, shortish telly, and, you know, stop it down for more sensible image quality if you want. Albeit if you get it right wide open, yeah, it really shines there. And there's some brilliant examples online of how it can be used in low light, and I think that's what I want to be doing next with it a bit more, and hopefully put together a full-on footage video at some point. This is evidently the first third-party lens that I've tried on the GFX system, so I can't really compare it to anything else, not that I necessarily want to. And I'm not sure that at this price there really is any kind of competitor. I need to stop doing this, but you get the idea. It's a lens that many will love, some will hate, and that's absolutely fine. I suppose the closest I've got to this experience before was the 50mm f/0.95 on my X-T4, but clearly with this lens and camera, we're talking about some serious resolving power. And with a lens that can be less forgiving, it's always going to be a fairly niche product. But at this price, I have to say it's great value in the right hands. So yeah, let us know if you've used this in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you there. And until the next time, stay safe.